The concept of magic holds diverse meanings for different individuals. It encompasses a range of qualities such as excitement, mystery, helpfulness, and even evil. However, the word itself does not possess an inherent moral value, it merely serves as a descriptor for various practices and beliefs. The interpretation of magic ultimately depends on one's own understanding and perspective. The term blood magic often evokes negative associations among most people, which is understandable considering the association of blood with war, death, and physical harm. Blood magic is sometimes misunderstood as involving human or blood sacrifice, but that is not always the case. The traditional portrayal of sacrificial rituals involving humans and animals on altars with pentagrams and demonic imagery does not accurately represent the way blood magic is practiced today. In its simplest form, blood magic or blood sorcery involves the use of a few drops of the individual's own blood during a spell or ritual. This means that no harm befalls anyone else in the process. Many forms of magic incorporate tools or objects that serve to harness or amplify the specific type of magic being performed. In the case of blood magic, blood itself becomes the object of power. In numerous magical spells and rituals, one essentially requests or desires something, which is why it is common to offer something in return. This reciprocity can be voluntary, although there are instances where it may not be. It is not uncommon to encounter depictions in movies or TV shows where the practitioner of an act or spell experiences fainting or a nosebleed. They achieve their desired outcome, but something is taken in exchange, often interpreted as life or something else entirely different. This notion reinforces the common idea that magic has a cost, and all magic carries a price. When it comes to the capabilities of blood magic, there appear to be few limitations. This lack of restrictions could be one reason why it has garnered a negative reputation. While blood magic itself may not be inherently evil, it can be employed for nefarious purposes. The ethical compass of those practicing blood magic plays a significant role. Blood acts as a mere conduit, and the choice of how it is used lies entirely with the practitioner. In works of fiction, such as the Game of Thrones series by George R.R. Martin, blood sorcery is regarded as the most potent form of magic but is also seen as dark and forbidden by many. In one instance, when the character Drogo is near death, Daenerys summons a blood witch named Mirri Maz Duur from the land of Lazer. Mirri Maz Duur informs Daenerys that she can save Drogo, but it requires a life in exchange, which happens to be Drogo's horse. However, Mirri Maz Duur had no intention of using her powers to save Drogo. Instead, she sought revenge for the atrocities committed against her people. As a consequence, she is burned alive. Another example occurs when Stannis Baratheon discovers that Gendry is the illegitimate son of Robert Baratheon. They use leeches to extract Gendry's blood, believing it can be used in powerful rituals, which later proves to be true. In the television show Lost Girl, which admittedly receives mixed reviews, there is a character called Trick who is described as a blood sage. Anything Trick writes in his own blood becomes reality, but there is always a catch or consequence associated with it. He primarily uses this power as a last resort to maintain peace. The portrayal of blood magic in fiction differs from its perception by real-world practitioners. Authors often present blood magic as a darker and more taboo aspect of magic to captivate and engage readers. Feel free to share your thoughts on blood magic and mention any books or blood mages you believe deserve recognition. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving. The term magic holds a multitude of meanings for different people. It can evoke excitement, mystery, helpfulness, and even evil. However, the word itself is neutral and serves as a descriptor for various practices and beliefs that trigger emotional reactions. The interpretation of magic ultimately depends on an individual's personal understanding and perspective. When it comes to blood magic, most people associate it with negative imagery, which is understandable considering the association of blood with war, death, and physical injury. Blood magic is often confused with human and blood sacrifice, leading to its unfavorable reputation. However, blood magic does not necessarily involve such extreme practices. In its simplest form, blood magic or blood sorcery entails using a small amount of the practitioner's own blood during a spell or ritual, ensuring no harm befalls others. It deviates from the traditional depiction of sacrificial rituals involving humans and animals on altars with pentagrams and demonic symbolism. In many magical practices, specific tools or objects are utilized to harness or amplify the power of magic. In the case of blood magic, blood itself becomes the object of power. In spells and rituals, it is common to offer something in return for the desired outcome. This reciprocity can be voluntary or involuntary, often resulting in physical manifestations such as fainting or nosebleeds. While blood is often associated with life, the concept of sacrifice in blood magic extends beyond literal interpretations. Blood magic appears to have fewer limitations compared to other forms of magic, contributing to its negative reputation. While blood magic itself is not inherently good or bad, it can be used for both positive and negative purposes. The moral compass of those practicing blood magic plays a significant role in determining its nature and consequences. Blood serves as a conduit, and the intentions and actions of the practitioner shape the outcome. In fictional works like George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones series, blood sorcery is considered the most potent form of magic but is also regarded as dark and forbidden. Characters such as Mirri Maz-Dur and Stannis Baratheon employ blood magic for their own purposes, often requiring sacrifices to gain great power. Another example of blood magic can be found in the television show Lost Girl, where a character named Trick is described as a blood sage. His ability to make his written words come true using his own blood comes with catches and consequences, leading him to use this power sparingly and as a last resort to maintain peace. The portrayal of blood magic in fiction differs from its real-world practice. Authors often present blood magic as a darker and taboo aspect of magic to captivate and engage readers. If you have any thoughts on blood magic or know of any books featuring blood mages, feel free to share them in the comments.